Hi ladies, I promised you guys an update after I did my RE visit to discuss with them doing single parenthood by choice. I was super nervous the night before for my appointment because I was so nervous they were going to be judgy and, try to convince me not to do this, but they were very supportive. I said to the lady, because she said to me, "Oh, are you here by yourself this time?" Because I was seeing this fertility doctor with my boyfriend before this. And so I said, "Oh no, you can just wipe him off the paperwork." And so she just kind of laughed. She's like, "Okay, awesome, we can do that." So she went up and told the doctor beforehand, so then obviously he wasn't discussing my partner, which was really good because I didn't want to have to explain it again. So he kind of knew when I came in, like, what my decisions were. He was awesome. I love him as a doctor. He's very good at explaining things. He's very good at relaxing you because I find it very nerve-wracking. I don't know, I'm a nurse, so I shouldn't be nervous at doctors, but I do find it all very nervous. I'm scared of what's going to happen. I'm scared of what people are going to say. So I was nervous going in, but he was amazing. There was one kind of little glitch in the appointment because basically at the clinic I'm at, there was previously a doctor that was treating me, and now this new doctor has come on, I think, in the last 6 months. So majority of my testing, like my sonohistogram and everything I had done, was done with the other doctor. Well, the other doctor was a dick and didn't bother to tell me that I had PCOS. So this doctor says to me, "Oh, okay, so you have PCOS, so blah, 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 blah." So that doctor didn't bother to do additional testing, didn't bother to test my sugars, do any steps. He didn't even tell me anything about it. He just would say to me, "Well, looks like you don't ovulate every month." This doctor did say it is a very mild case of PCOS, but it's still PCOS. So he is making the bright decision to, he's actually sending me for the glucose test that I think they do at 24 weeks with pregnant women. I'm doing a fasting blood sugar test, and then they're going to have me drink the yucky orange stuff and wait 2 hours in the office and then test my sugars again. This is deciding if I need to go on metformin or not, because that's kind of the main treatment for PCOS. Because he said it's very minor, we may not need to do that. It depends what my sugars are like. He also would like me to be testing my sugars at home, just randomly, and record them, just so he can get an idea of if there's times that my blood sugars are really spiking. Because if your sugars are not regular or they're spiking or things, it's a high risk for miscarriage. So that's the first kind of step he wanted me to do. He also gave me information about financing. I can finance the procedure of IUI, the medication, and kind of anything I do in that office. Unfortunately, I have to pay out of pocket for the donor sperm, as far as I understand. I'm not quite sure. But me being the person I am, I worked last night until 11:30 and came home, applied for the financing. I didn't ask for a huge amount. I asked for just enough that I think will cover 2 cycles. Because I think that's a reality. Like, if 2 cycles don't work, then I'm gonna move on to IVF, and that will be a completely different story. What was I gonna say? So I have already been pre-approved for my financing. They called me today and said, "Yep, you're approved, no problem." So that's big. Another thing I have to do is I have to go for a counseling session, which when I initially read about it online, I thought it was going to be like an analysis to see if I'm mentally stable to be a parent, but it's completely not that. It's more a supportive process. It's about learning how you process emotions and giving you techniques to process them better. They said, it's a very emotional experience picking a donor, So they're going to, help with the stress of picking that person, give me guidance on the process. This process is completely new to me. I've never thought to look for a donor sperm. It actually took a lot to think, like, what do I want? What do I want in a donor? I know I've always wanted a donor that's, blonde hair, fair skin, blue eyes like me, because I obviously want my child to look like me, or look like it came from me in some way. So I know that far, and I just kind of, I went on the donor registry last night as well. I was up until 3 in the morning, just like so excited about everything, like looking at donors. I actually have one donor that I have saved in my favorites because I may pick him. Just because there's a few things that it's like, that sounds good. He happens to like have the same mix of not ethnicities, but I guess ethnicities as me. I'm a kind of a rare breed of mix. I have some Irish, some Scottish, some Dutch, and my father is Jewish, so I have a little bit of Jewish, and I actually look more like my Jewish family, but have blonde hair, so not really your typical Jewish girl. So this donor actually has that too, and I thought that's kind of neat. But yeah, so I have to do the lab testing. I have to do the counseling session. I have to pick a donor, obviously. I've been pre-approved for my financing, so that's done. I'm going to call tomorrow about my counseling, get that going. The doctor did say that if I needed to start on metformin, he'd like me to do that for 4 to 6 weeks before we start my first IUI cycle. So that's okay. I want this to be successful. It's not like I have to do this tomorrow and that's that. So it's probably looking like October, probably doing my first IUI cycle. I will leave you guys a link down below, just in case you happen to be Canadian, and maybe the financing part is what is your barrier right now to doing this. It's this company called Medicard, and they cover procedures that are not covered under OHIP, including for fertility. So basically, what I can put under that is the IUI procedure and any of the kind of costs that go along, like the chart management. I have to go in for blood work all the time, everything. And I can put my drugs that I'm going to be taking on that. I believe I might be able to put my counseling. I don't believe it covers my donor sperm, which just the one bank that I was looking at last night, it is I think it was $5.95 a vial. Ooh, it's expensive. It's expensive to buy someone's sperm. But I can, get the storage, the frozen fees or however you call it, covered at my clinic because I'm going to buy enough for 2 cycles, I believe, or maybe I'll just do 1 cycle at a time. I don't know. So that's what it can cover, which is a big part of it. I believe the IUI procedure, because they're going to do a 2-day procedure, it's $500 for first insemination and $250 for the second insemination. And there's just some like little handling fees for receiving your sperm and stuff and storing it properly till the procedure. So that's not too bad compared to IVF. But anyways, I'm really happy that I got pre-approved for financing. That was a huge thing because I was thinking in my mind, how am I going to come up with this money? The doctor is super excited to get started. I'm super excited to get started, but I'm really happy that he is wanting to look into the sugar thing. My aunt has diabetes. She got diabetes in her like late 50s. So I don't want anything like that. And now I can start, looking into, there's a PCOS diet, things you want to cut out. and I want to get, you know, a little bit healthier. I was on a diet and I quit at the beginning of the summer because I just couldn't do it this summer. But I'm going to get back on my diet just for, you know, even if I lose 10 pounds before I do my first IUI cycle, that's going to help for sure. So I'm pretty sure that my first cycle will be October. I'm really excited. He is going to just do Clomid with me to start. The injections go up to $1,000 in cost, and I don't have benefits, so I'm going to be paying out of pocket, and Clomid's obviously a lot cheaper. So obviously he said, you know, if I don't react to the Clomid, then we will bump up to something more extreme. I'm also doing a trigger shot the night before my IUI or whatever. So I'll have one injection. But I'm really excited, and I feel very supported in my decision, even though it's going to be very different with my family, because not necessarily my immediate family. Like, I think my dad will have a hard time with it. Like, he won't understand it because he's not really, like, I don't know. I don't talk to him about things to do with sex and babies. Like, he didn't know that I've been trying to have a baby. I don't know. Maybe my mom has told him. My brother, when I told him before that I was trying to have a kid, he looked at me like he was shocked. But I'm more or less worried about my in-laws because they're very conservative Catholic people, and I'm not sure they'll be like, think I'm crazy? But I'm okay with that. So yeah, so sorry for this really long-winded update. If you guys have any questions, I have a whole folder on how things work. Obviously, every clinic is different. I am Canadian, so things are obviously different for if you are living in the States or abroad somewhere. But this is kind of my experience so far. So I will keep updating you guys along with my timeline of how things are going to go, let you guys know what steps I'm at, and definitely let you guys know what's going on. So take care. I wish you guys lots of luck in baby dust. And as I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to message below or message me privately if you don't want to ask the question in front of everybody. That's cool. I will message you back. Yeah, so hope you guys have a good day, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna maybe become a mom. Okay. See, I'm already getting emotional. I can't even say I'm gonna become a mom without like getting emotional. Okay. Anyways, take care, guys, and I will see you soon.